Matt Rhule, head football coach at Nebraska, joins us on 365 Sports. Craig's on his way to Baylor football practice. Paul Catalina here with me, David Smoak. And, Coach, it's great to have you, man. We appreciate your time. You seem to be having a renewed enthusiasm. You're at WWE, you're at all these events, and obviously you're trying to coach Nebraska football back to where they used to be. Are you having fun?
Oh, I'm having a great time. This is a great community and a great group of young men. And, it's just fun to be a part of something.
So you are now going through and wrapping up your first transfer portal spring, Coach. What was the most eye-opening thing about all of this to you is, you leave college football, you're gone for a couple years, and you come back and almost all the rules have changed.
Yeah, they've all changed, but as long as they're the same for everybody, so be it. I'm happy for the young men that they have, they have some mobility. They can decide where they want to go. Just like I've picked and decided where I'm going to move. And I've taken some different jobs. Guys have a chance to transfer and find a home. So I think it's great. I think, like anything else, some guys are going to make good decisions. Some guys are going to make bad. But to me, it's always about the adults and the coaches, us making sure that we're doing things the right way.
When you arrived there, you kind of saw eventually, and you kind of studied, obviously, before you took the job. Where are you think, with that roster compared to where it was when you arrived?
I think there were good players here when I got here. I think they ran every game last year, but maybe one or two. And so, we've recruited a lot of guys to come in that'll be here next year. We were able to get a couple young men in the transfer portal to come in for the spring, so we had some early enrollees. But, I think there's a lot of really good players here. And I think when you go back and study the last few years, I had a chance to win a lot of games, and a lot of games, unfortunately, were lost at the very end of the game. And so, what we want to do is very similar to that team we had at Baylor, in 2019. A lot of those games were won for us in the last moments, whether it was TCU or Texas Tech or Iowa State. And, we just want to be a team that executes down the stretch so that we can win the games that, unfortunately, have eluded us so far.
What is more important in your first spring as the head coach of a new program? Is it the installs and people learning the X and O's, or is it that first wave of building chemistry and them understanding what you and the staff are about?
Yeah, when we came in, we told the guys that we really had three objectives for this spring. Number one was to build strength and mobility. Corey Campbell, I think, is one of the best strength coaches in the country. And for us, we wanted to get the guys big and strong, but also have them moving. You look back in Nebraska the last couple of years, some injuries. So just doing the best we could to make sure we had really good movement quality. Number two, we wanted to build a sort of a brotherhood amongst the team. We can't all be best friends. Maybe aren't all going to hang out, but we can certainly appreciate each other and appreciate the price that everyone pays. And so we try to do a lot of things to build a sense of brotherhood and belonging. And then we wanted to, teach our process. When we get to the fall, we need everyone to know exactly what's expected. And so from the way we practice, the way we do things, it's not like everyone else does it. So, we need to make sure that everyone gets that. Part of that is the X's and O's. So I think building that sense of brotherhood is important, just like making sure that we all understand, hey, what exactly does it mean to practice, at Husker speed and do the things that we're asking them to do.
Matt, there's a lot of tradition there, and it was built from Bob Devaney to Tom Osborne to Frank Solich, and I know you're bringing Solich back, and I think that's amazing to reach back in the past because it's almost like they forgot about it. How important was that? Frank Solich coming back to where he played, and then also he coached, and was pretty darn good when he was coaching there as a head coach.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm very grateful to Coach Solich that he's going to come back. I think, there's been some, tumultuous times, over the last, however many years. And so for us to have this opportunity to have this unifying event where hopefully Coach Solich coming back really sends a message to everybody. And I think about that, has to do with Frank, his willingness to come back and be here. I can tell you how grateful I am that he's doing it, because I think it'll really help our fan base, our former players, and hopefully our current players as well.
Do you have a triple option install in there for him?
Oh yeah, we'll have a little something special for Coach. Maybe a little fullback belly, something that'll make his heart happy.
You're having a fullback one-day camp. That kind of gives me goosebumps, right?
Well, if you look at it, Smoak. We had a fullback at Temple. I came to Baylor, and everyone was scared to death that I was going to have a fullback full time. But Kobe Bullard did a good job. Those guys did a good job. We had Jalen Hurd back there in the I formation every now and then and smash someone to get a yard or two. So, one of the things about being at Nebraska is we want to be versatile on offense. We have to play some games when it's windy. I mean, we have practice. Some days we have to practice and it's 30-mile-an-hour winds. We're going to have to be able to, run the ball and throw the ball. And, there's a way to win every game. And we want to have the fullback in the offense. Not saying that's what we're going to do all the time, but, we have the ability to get there.
What was more integral, in your opinion, to Nebraska's success when it was? Was it the systems that they had, or the fact that people were just knew that when Nebraska came there or you went to Lincoln, that you were going to hurt no matter what happened when you walked out of that stadium?
Yeah, I'd say all of it, man. I think the thing that I've done, and I know guys know me, I like to talk about process. I think when you talk to Coach Solich, it was 42 years of excellence, from Bob Devaney to Tom Osborne to Frank Solich, and they left a blueprint. And so I think it's following that. I went to the Johnny Rogers Jet Awards the other night, and I'm sitting there, wait, there's Eric Crouch. Wait, there's Mike Rozier. Wait, there's Damon Benning. Wait, there's, whoever else. I mean, college football Hall of Famers, Trev Alberts. I mean, first-round draft picks, 2 Heisman Trophy Award winners. So there were great players with a great system, both on offense and defense, a tremendous sense of pride, tremendous sense of physicality. And I think the way that they practiced here was elite. There weren't a lot of guys standing around. Everyone was getting reps. And so that's the way I was trained at Penn State. That's what we're doing now. And, I think the best thing you could do as a coach is study the people who've had success there before you got there. And we're doing that here at Nebraska, just like we did at Baylor and just like we tried to do at Temple.
Matt, with the new rules, the transfer portal, how often of an 85-man scholarship roster, is there kind of what you think might be an average of a roster turnover your first year, or what might be the average now going forward?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you guys remember that first year at Baylor, everyone thought that, oh my gosh, we just went 1-11, the whole team was going to transfer. I think you asked me that, and I think one or two guys, one guy left, maybe two. I hope we treat players well, and I hope that means that players don't want to be there. I mean, we're tough, we coach hard, but most of these guys want to be great, and so you know what? There's going to be some guys who at every team, right? Who maybe they're homesick, maybe they're not going to get on the field, maybe I don't know. I want everyone to be happy, and I want everyone to be where they're supposed to be. So I can't worry about who transfers in, who transfers out. I can worry about who transfers in. I can't worry about who transfers out, but I can make sure that we have a place that guys don't want to transfer from. And I'm excited about that. I think it's going to be one of our advantages, because we spend a lot of time with our guys, and I think most of our guys are pretty happy being here.
June 5th in Belton, Texas, a combined camp with Mary Hardin Baylor football. Where did that come about, and your thoughts about that one?
Well, we want to recruit Texas. I think this year we signed the most guys at Nebraska coming out of Texas since I think it was like 2008 maybe. We have a direct flight to Houston already from Lincoln. We now have direct flights starting this summer to Austin and one to Dallas. So we wanted to come down there. Obviously, Belton and Temple and Waco and Hewitt and all those places are very special to me and special to our coaches. So coming down there and putting on a camp, giving kids in Texas a chance to come work with us. We're going down the next day and down to Houston and doing another camp. So it's an opportunity for us to get down there, see people we care about, coach kids, and maybe enjoy a little Texas sunshine.
Yeah, well, Jeff Hume's daughter is on staff. You got Susan Elza. We've talked about that. And, of course, Garrett McGuire, among others. Tom Osborne spoke at your coach's clinic. I know you know that he contacted Grant Taft right before they were going to make the hire, and Grant Taft gave you some glowing, what would you say, a recommendation. What has Tom Osborne meant to you, even though you don't see him a lot, but being a part of that clinic? And is that kind of him accepting you into the family?
Yeah, Coach Osborne's been amazing. When I got the job, I called him, to make sure he was okay with it. He was great. Had a chance to talk to him a couple times on the phone. Spent about an hour with him just talking football at the Outland Awards. It came to our clinic. Did a talk with him and Trev, just talking about football. And I guess, it's amazing to me. Sometimes coaches want to do things their own way. You follow a coach who's successful and you don't want to do it their way. Like, I'm so simple, man. It's like, hey, I remember I used to go to Andy Altoff. I'd say, hey, can you tell me how Coach Rhule did this? Tell me about this practice. And even though my system was so much different than Art's, I mean, I was always studying how they practiced this or what they did, and anything I could steal, I did, because obviously Coach Rhule did it at a high level. Coach Taft, the same thing. Talking to the guys, hey, Coach Taft came and talked to the team, and so having a chance to talk to Coach Solich, having a chance to talk to Coach Osborne, it's not about how we won before. It's about how do you win at Nebraska, and it's just like a cheat sheet, man. So I've just been unbelievably grateful to him that he's been willing to do that. Ron Brown is with us, who was coach for Coach Osborne, and he's in there every day. I mean, Eric Crouch was at practice today, and he's talking to me about the quarterback's footwork on one of the, the option type read plays we have. I mean, who else should I listen to other than Eric Crouch, man? I don't care if I'm right now. I'd like to be right come the season. And to me, that's about getting as much football information as we can from anybody who loves the game.
Matt, I know you're getting ready to meet with your players. I know you got to go. What will you tell them today?
Well, I tell them today, that's a great question. Well, you always get me with the questions, bro. You know what? I think the biggest message that we have right now, and it's not a popular message, is we can't look for the end being in sight, man. Like, we've got to absolutely grind. And sometimes what happens is we grind for a while, then we just get tired of it, right? Like, I don't know how many diets I've started, man. Like, I'm going to work out today. Like, we get tired of it. But if you want to be successful in football, if you want to be a champion, you've just got to do the right thing longer than everybody else. And so that's the message. Like, we're talented, we're a good team, physically, but are we going to do the right things when it matters next fall? And if we want to do them next fall when it matters without thinking, we have to do them right now. And that's winning culture, man. And, if you think back to our 3 years at Baylor, I always believe teams go through three phases. You have to eliminate losing football. Then you start playing winning football. And then eventually you want to play championship football. And we were 1-11. We were certainly playing losing football. The next year we were 7-6. We played winning football. Mm-hmm. And the third year, while we didn't put the trophy, the Big 12 championship game didn't go our way. We played a lot of championship football. And Charlie Brewer took the ball at the -1 yard line and drove down to take the lead. And, Chops knocked a 51-yarder or 53-yarder through against TCU to send it to overtime. We made championship plays and championship moments, but that was a continuum. And my guys here, I'm like, hey guys, we don't have to start off on the losing football thing. We can start off by playing winning football and chasing championship football. And that's what wakes me up every day.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate your time, Matt. I know you have a busy schedule, WWE and everything else at Nebraska. Thanks for your time, Coach. We glad to have you on the show.
Hey, and I just want to thank you guys for when we come down to do that clinic in Belton. I want to thank Smoak for the tab at George's being on you, brother. Thanks for taking care of us. See you guys.
Well, it's written in stone now.
He and his